Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, we are going to see like how we can write GraphQL queries. We'll create a basic resolver here. We'll understand like what is scalars and what are the object types. In last video, we did some setup. We get started. We did some setup to start our server. Also, like I've installed Node1. So Node1 will help us to restart our server whenever we are doing any changes in any of the JavaScript files. Now, what I will do is like in GraphQL, just to explain you first, like here as we have greetings, to query anything, we first have to include that field in the query itself. Like if I add some other fields, then that will appear in playground. So on the client side, anyone will be able to query it. By query, what I mean is like you can compare it with the GET request. So the GET request kind of thing. So someone can query when we have that field here only. So in GraphQL, like there are a couple of scalars. So what is scalars? So it is kind of some data types, basic data types. For example, if you are talking about some other programming language, you can compare it with the primitive data types. So these are five: int, float, string, boolean, and id. So id is kind of actually it is a string, but yeah, it signifies that the field will be unique. Now to make any field mandatory, what we can do is like we can write something like this. So let's say if I wanted to make this greeting mandatory, then I will write at the end exclamation at the end of the data type. Okay, at the end of the scalar or data type. All right. Apart from the scalars, whenever we write with the help of type, that is actually object type, and the query is our root object type. Now in this example, what I'm going to do is like I will create one product object type. So to create a product object type, I will have to write product. I'll be writing couple of properties. So just assume like it can have ID, and I will mark it ID. Then I'm just going to keep it have one name with string as mandatory field, description as string with mandatory field, price will be float since that can have decimal value, and that is fine for now. What I'm going to do is like I'll create a mock data folder. So actually this tutorial is focusing on GraphQL, so I'll not be including the database layer here. So that we can use, we can create separate tutorial for that. But right now, like in this tutorial, I will be using, file-based mock data. So I'm creating products here. You can say products data.js. And from here, what I'm going to do is like I'm going to copy paste some of the mock data. As you see, like we have this mock data here. This also includes category ID. So, but for now, like you can forget about it. Now, after creating the product type, this is an object type, as I said. To include it in our query, we'll have to write it here. So let's say we want to query for multiple products. Since that will be the multiple products, we'll write something like this and we'll copy the type of the object here. Now to make this complete object as not nullable, so I will be marking it with the exclamation sign. Also, I will mark internal object also with the exclamation. It cannot be null or null. Okay. Now since we have defined our query, uh, I'll just restart my server. The reason behind that is like we have done changes in the schema, so I'll have to restart it. Now I'm going to refresh that Apollo server. For now, like I'm saying, let me create a new tab here. Now I see the two things, the greetings which we saw in last video, and now we have one more field, properties, with custom data type, with custom object type, that is an array. Now if you want to query it, we can include some of the properties. To write a query, let me just remove it. I will show like how we will be doing it from scratch. To write any query, just write query keyword, and you will have to see like what are the properties here under the query. So I can see like this is the products, and under the products, since actually this is a data type, custom data type, custom object type, so we'll have to include some of the fields from here, and these fields are scalars. So let me include name. If I click here, if I try to execute, it will throw error. And what it is saying, cannot return null or null nullable field query products. So what is happening is like we have defined our schema, we have defined our object type, but we are not resolving it. GraphQL does not know like whenever it encounters with this products, I mean when user demands for these products, it does not know like how it can resolve it, how it can provide data to the users. So what I'm going to do is like I will be writing resolver now. Okay, to write the resolver, what I will do is like I will add one field here. So how we decide like what field we need to add? So we'll go back in the schema and we see like in under the query we have products. So I'm just going to copy the products from here and I will paste it here. Just under the query, I'm pasting it products. To resolve anything, we'll have to use a method, and whatever we return from method, that will be resolved. Okay, and as we created this mock data, what I'm going to do is like I will be using this mock data. Okay, and now I'll import it. Sometimes it does not work without JS. Let me just include it. Now it seems working fine. So let me go back and try it again. Now as you see like we are getting some data. Under the data we are having field name, and then we are getting an array of objects. We can query for multiple properties, something like this as well. Okay, so now you are very familiar like how we can write a basic resolvers. So next thing is like creating relations between two object type, so that we can see in the next video. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you for watching.